Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Global Happenings Today YouTube channel. Many Nigerians has been earnestly waiting for the verdict of the PEPC Presidential Election Petition Tribunal or Court, and a lot of side talks here and there. Of course, just fairly recently, Asari Dokubo was seen floating his private army ready to defend the mandate of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu either which way. In fact, he said if you talk anyhow, you see anyhow. But while at it, the former president of Nigeria have decided to speak up over a lot of things. There have been series in Edo alone, CSOs have decided to go on some sort of protest, insisting that Bola Ahmed Tinubu should allow the poor to breathe, as the hiking price of fuel has affected the whole economy and it's not funny anymore. But before we go to the newspaper to find out exactly what Chief Olusegun Obasanjo is telling us, Nigerians and Africa as a whole, concerning what is going on, we'd like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you say bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Where the former president of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, said Nigeria has failed the African continent, specifically, and the world at large. That's deep. But Obasanjo stated this in Abuja while giving the keynote address at the public presentation of the book titled Reclaiming the Jewel of Africa, written by the former Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, who also served as Minister of Finance, Olusegun Aganga. Well, President Bola Tinubu, represented by his special advisor on monetary policy, Olawale Edun, unveiled the book. Obasanjo said, and I quote, "Over the last 63 years, we have not lived up to expectations. We have disappointed ourselves. We have disappointed Africa. We have disappointed the black race. And we have disappointed the world." He, however, added that what Segun Aganga has tried to identify, itemize, and recommend in his book is the way forward. But the beginning of charting a new course for ourselves is to admit our failure, because we have not always put the round peg in the round hole. We are carried along by ego, emotions of selfishness, and self-centeredness, ethnic and religious jingoism, with total lack of understanding of the world we live in, and gross misunderstanding of what development entails and how to move forward or move fast and continuously on the trajectory of development. Obasanjo identified two of the major issues that were interrelated in terms of factors for all-round development. And it says these are peace and security, which we cannot achieve without justice, equity, and inclusive society. And telling ourselves the truth, we have not done well on these scores in the recent past. In the last decade and a half, I will also point at the issue of education, where over 20 million children that should be in school are not in school. We do not need an oracle to tell us the consequences of that for tomorrow, Obasanjo said. The former president said the skill acquisition, empowerment, and employment of youth would seem to be ignored or not appreciated. Obasanjo said we do not need to look for the remote causes of banditry, Boko Haram, kidnapping, and other organized crimes. We are living dangerously on a keg of gunpowder, driving more people into poverty through good policies, poorly and thoughtlessly implemented, or bad policy and no policy at all, he added. Whoa, this is quite hitting the nail on the head. But most Nigerians have been talking in the comment sections about Oga OBJ. You too, you've been followed for the matter. But let's not also forget that during his time, was it this bad? You don't expect him to be perfect. He has handed the baton to someone. The question is, he didn't say it should be one-time thing. It should be after you've started. It should be continuous. It should be every time. Okay, look at where he stopped. He handed over to another, and to another, and to another. If the next person decide not to pick up where he stopped and continue in a better way, or decide to retrogress, are you still going to blame Baba for saying the truth, or for not doing, or for doing what he did, just that the next person didn't get it right? Baba just said it all. Just in Edo alone, they have some CSOs, civil society, have gone on some sort of protest. Some parents are already screaming that unity schools have been increased, that school fees have been, costs across the board have been increased from some places 45,000 to 100,000. We're not looking to the effects of the fuel hike. We have not also considered the fact that the fuel hike has also increased cost of accommodation, cost of living. They will also not look at the fact that foodstuffs are superlatively very expensive, and Nigerians can't even go to their farms because we still have the issues of insecurity, banditry, and kidnapping. So you just look as if everything good is not really working, and everything bad seems to be on the increase. I thought the first thing they would have even tackled, apart from quickly removing the subsidy, would have been to tackle the issue of security very quickly, and also tackle the issue. Although we give it to the chief of army staff, who started to hit the ground running. We saw him at the Mango in Plateau, really giving good motivational charge to the soldiers. God bless you. Our armies are really put their life on the line severally. We celebrate you. And it only didn't just stop by motivating them. Now I decided to let them know also that his lines are open in case they need to get in touch with him, and they really know the processes of doing that. Apart from one or two issues, Nigeria, it's no longer funny. And like OBJ discovered, and most Nigerians are discovering, that we may not even have middle class anymore. It's either you're rich or you're among the poor. But we have the very poor, and we have the seriously very poor. And now, for us to worsen all this, our refineries are not working. We are borrowing for recurrent expenditure. We still have backlog of loans to service. Some of the moratoriums we earned, they will start paying newly and start paying new repayments. And it's as if Nigerians are living on loans, economic policies. We're just talking about taxation. If the taxation becomes too much, the small and medium scale businesses will definitely fold up, and even the investment we're looking up to may not come the way we're expecting. Most car owners are beginning to park their cars because even to afford the car is now a problem. Mechanics are already screaming and shouting because most vehicles that usually come around are no longer coming for them to repair. We really have a situation in our hands. Some of those jobs that were created so many years ago may likely fold up because of lack of patronage. I don't know, but if you ask me, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo just hit the nail on the head. But your opinion,